Hola, chicas. Welcome to Encuentras Your Voice podcast, championing Latina voices from ancestry to authenticity, creating a living archive of our diaspora and celebrating the aha moments that inspired success that fuels our cultura. Each story gives voice to ancestors whose legacy was lost, silenced, or erased, and shares the journey of leaving behind those destructive expectations and embracing joyful determination in authenticity. By the end of the show, you'll have met your next best friend. I'm your host, Consuelo Crosby, here with you every Wednesday at a new time this year as we keep evolving into a greater version from when we started. With our global audience expanding, we have moved our drop time to midnight, or 12:01 a.m. on Wednesdays, here on the sunny California Pacific Coast. I want to take a minute to share with you the immense impact of the Los Angeles wildfires on this comunidad. The devastation is immense, literally dismantling generations of family homes and decades of hard work for first homeowners in a matter of hours. Yet the love and passion for each other is epic, and I ask you kindly to give what you can in funding to support the community, individuals, online businesses, organizations, everyone, to help bring stability, health, and well-being back into their day. Many blessings to our listeners who have been affected, even in the surrounding areas. The threat is so real and continues to be very real. We have you in our hearts, in our minds, in our thoughts, and we are doing actions to contribute, to stabilize, and find some anchor to move forward. Many blessings with peace. So graciously, in this tumultuous time, health and community are the core of today's first full episode of Season 8 in this new year of 2025. If not for community, our guests may not have made the choices that ultimately brought her full circle to her most authentic self. This episode highlights how to give yourself grace in moving through cultural and family expectations to choose yourself first, your passion, your health, and happiness. Luciana Couto made the courageous decision to leave everyone she knew behind in her home of Brazil. Determined to create a better life, Luciana did whatever it took to make it in Toronto, including a third degree at university, learning a new language, a new culture, and fighting off assimilating as she developed new friendships. Plus, the toll it took on her mind and body, the different foods, climate, tradition, all the basics we may ignore when making big changes. It was that community that fueled Luciana's authenticity and brought her back to her love of health and nutrition, ultimately getting certified as a health coach, yoga instructor, personal trainer, and starting her own business with a thriving YouTube following. She shares that love for us today in a way that we can all benefit as we start off this new year fresh. Luciana emphasizes how to live a healthy lifestyle with simple steps that don't require a strict routine or sense of deprivation. So much of that is thrown at us often in these intense ways of living. Instead, it's all about checking in with yourself regularly, asking yourself how you feel, literally at the end of each day, and identifying what worked for you and what didn't. Everything is interconnected, mind and body. Plus, Luciana gives us the 4 pillars to living a healthy life and the very easy first steps to take daily, because it's all about consistency rather than that intensity. But ultimately, it is all about giving yourself grace on so many levels to ease your way into a life that you love and that supports your dreams, because you are your most spectacular life project. Lean back now, relax, and get ready to meet your next best amiga. Welcome to Encuentras Your Voice podcast. I'm so happy to have you here, Luciana. It's been such a random way to meet, but such an exciting story you have. And you are welcoming us into the new year. This is the new year attitude we're bringing, trying to leave all the negativity behind and bring in a different way of living life. So happy to have you here.
Well, first, Happy New Year.
Woo!
Happy New You. Happy New Us. Thank you so much for having me here. It's such an honor to be the first guest of the year. Thank you.
Yes, no better way to start off a year that we really need to mix up, change up, bring the positivity into our own lives and love ourselves in the way that we're going to talk about today. On every episode we focus on celebrating our ancestry, our heritage, and really creating a living archive of the Latinidad diaspora. And we'd appreciate if you share your own family story.
Well, I was born in Brazil. I lived in South America for 34 years before I came to Canada. My husband and I, we just became citizens this past month, actually.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. And it has been a journey. I always say for me, it's an honor that I majored in journalism back then in college a long time ago. And my grandmother couldn't write and read. So that's already itself a journey.
That is large,
I'm so proud to be able to do something so simple that she couldn't.
Oh, thank you for bringing her into our current day and celebrating her, bringing her memory with you. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what was your love for leaving Brazil? That must have been really hard for you to make that journey all the way to Canada. What inspired you to do that?
A better life.
Was it hard in Brazil?
Is that? Yeah, it was pretty hard. I lived all my life there. Actually, in my 20s, I lived for a few years in Argentina. I would say the same level of difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
They are both countries that have to face a lot of hardships. And I was born in a middle-class family. We never had anything secured, anything. Since I was a child, I always knew that life was not that easy. And my parents always told me I should study, and do whatever I could to be someone, to get a good job. And I did. Actually, I had a good career there. But at the same time, there is a limit because unfortunately, the last city I lived was Rio, which is an amazing, beautiful, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, but it's dangerous. My husband, for example, he had this episode of violence. He stole his car at point of a gun, and he said,
"Oh my
that's
gosh,
it."
Yeah.
And that was like weeks or months before we met. And then we met. I already had the idea, and I told him, let's go, let's do whatever we can do. And we came.
Wow.
We just came.
Yeah. Boy, to have that self-love to seek a life that you want. Well, you don't know what that life is, whether it's better or not so good but to take that first step, that courage that we see so many of our guests' families. There's that one risk taker that sets the tone for the rest of the generations, right?
Yes.
You're that one. You're the risk taker.
And I see like that actually because I see so many Latins people telling, oh yeah, because my ancestors, they did this and they did that. And when I see them proud, I kind of proud of myself as well. Like, oh, I'm doing this. And you realize how big it is because actually, to be honest, when you do it, especially when you are back there, living there, you don't put too much thought on it. You just do it because you have to do it. It's a survival thing, I guess. And now when I look back, I think, oh my God, did I do that? Did I leave my family, my country, everything? And of course, here you have other types of challenges. The language, I was always insecure about my English. And then you have to meet new people, another culture, you don't know how to behave. Sometimes you try to, oh my God, am I being too loud? Am I being too Latin? You know, until you realize, no, I'm proud of who I am. I am like this, you know?
Good. Yes. Did that moment last a little bit for you? That feeling of maybe I should fit in, maybe I should assimilate. Did that last a while? What was your aha moment of saying no and going back to who you are authentically? What was that moment?
Well, unfortunately, I think it happens to everybody. You want to fit in because your whole life you live it in a society, you live in the, you know, it's just normal to fit in or to be part of a group.
That's
and
true.
Then when I came, I never realized that I was going to another group. Because even when I lived in Argentina, I think it was a little easier because first because I went by myself. So all the people surrounding me were Argentinians. So it's kind of, it was easier to blend and the culture was not that different. But when you come as a family, it's different because you have your unity, you have your own surroundings, and then you have the others. Yeah. And in the beginning, I went to college so we could have the visa. I was not that young anymore. So imagine I was 34, people were around 18, so it was already
huge
difficult.
Difference.
Exactly, almost a double.
You're so brave. You're so brave. Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you study?
I majored in journalism and then I worked with business intelligence. So I got my MBA back in Brazil. And when I came, I decided to stick to business. I studied fashion business because, you know, I love fashion. And I didn't like it. And I actually changed it to game design. I always knew that I wanted to do something by myself. And I was always, I always loved fitness. I always went to the gym. I always took care of my diet and those type of things. And I already had my YouTube channel on Portuguese for Brazil. So it made sense for me when people start to ask about my lifestyle. It was kind of, the change was natural. And then I decided during the pandemic, okay, I'm going to get my personal trainer certification. Let's see. And I fell in love. With that. And since then, I've been working as a health coach.
Wow. Okay. That is more than a 180. That is spiraling into a completely different universe. Yeah. So your aha moment was really just circling back to exactly who you are.
Exactly.
With your love of health, your love of healthy lifestyle, your love of activity and nutrition. And then taking that entrepreneurial journey on top of that of creating your own business.
Yeah.
Okay, Luciana, you are a huge risk taker. You have that fearlessness. I wonder where you get it from. Do you know? Oh my goodness.
I have to say my ancestors because they had to survive and I have to survive as well. Yeah. So I guess I have these like, okay, what should I do if I'm going to do it?
If this doesn't work out, you are quick to turn to something else. That must be really an amazing skill, a life skill to have as a personal trainer, as someone focusing on health and nutrition, to be able to offer that to your clients and to the people listening today, because I find personally that you come up against these kind of blocks, roadblocks when you're on your own nutrition or exercise journey that sometimes you just can't get around, but you are the master of pivoting. It sounds like that you find a way around that to encourage people to continue on their journey.
Yeah. And actually, it's interesting when you say it's coming back to me, because it was like coming back to who I was and accepting who I was.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I grew up listening that you have to study, you have to be smart, you have to be the smartest as possible. And especially I grew up in the 90s. Like, if you would go to the gym, you are wasting your time with something that is vain, you know.
Oh.
And I always felt guilty of that portion of myself. Like, taking care of my body, I actually saw as like, oh my God, am I being vain here? I should be be studying. I should be reading more. I should be the smartest in the room, not the
healthiest,
the hottest. You know, something like that. People would perceive me as that girl should. Yeah, and now
do you think that's the cultura? Is that the cultura talking to you, like the sinvergüenza? Like, how dare you focus so much on yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. But you persisted.
Sure.
That was a lot of self-love. You persisted, and you did both.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Like, no, you knew deep down inside that this makes you feel well. It gives you mental health. It gives you a love of yourself and taking care of yourself. And so you circle back to yourself.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I have to go on this journey to realize all those things. So at some point I thought, oh my God, I waste so much time. And now I see that I had to do everything I had to do because I am more complete now because of all the things I have to do in life. I did everything they told me that I should do, that I should get a degree, that I should get a master's degree and everything. And when I start taking care of myself, like physically also, is when I start to have more success in life, actually.
Because tell us about that. Yeah.
I came to the conclusion that you cannot take care of one portion. Like, you have to take care of your mind, you have to take care of your spirit, and you have to take care of your body as well. They work together. Actually, in yoga, we study that we have to be complete. We have to think holistic. If our body is not healthy, it's impossible to have a healthy mind, for example. And I do believe that.
So true. Yeah. Oh, that makes total sense. Yeah. So your healthy lifestyle, your way of exercising, your way of taking care of your whole self, first, that's the only way you can really be successful in anything else that you're doing. Because without it, what happens? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Oh, so what was it like then? You became a personal trainer?
And then I got the health coach certification, then the yoga certification, and the nutrition certification.
Wow, congratulations. That is the full package. This is beautiful. This is perfect. Yes, absolutely perfect for the new year. When we try to start off clean, wipe the slate clean, start off, don't bring any bad habits into this new year to start off. So from that transition, when you said, not only am I going back and embracing this as a beautiful act of self-love, of taking care of myself, and from which success of any kind will occur, and starting your own business, what was your hope? What did you want to provide for people?
I want to simplify wellness. Because I think nowadays it can bring more stress than health.
I love that. It's so true. Just the stress of trying to get to a gym or trying to do all the other platforms, everything. I love that.
Exactly. And because there's so much more information out there, and that's a good thing that we know so many things nowadays, but we cannot forget the basics. So sometimes we pay attention to something that a little detail, and then that become you have to do that. Like you have to wake up 5 a.m. every day, or you have to take cold showers, or you have to drink this or that.
Exactly.
And bottom line,
yeah,
do the basics, like eat whole food, move, sleep well, drink water, and you are going to be fine.
I love that. I love that. Yes, it is joyful when you can just see that the simplicity of living life is what makes you healthy.
Yeah.
Because the stress of trying, like you say, trying to fit all these programs and fit them into what's already a busy life. Here in the US, totally busy life.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I love the simplicity aspect. So, where would you think, for people listening out here now and loving the idea of, yes, bring me simple. What's the most important first step to keep going in this healthy living lifestyle?
I want to simplify wellness because I think nowadays it can bring more stress than health.
I love that. It's so true. Just the stress of trying to get to a gym or trying to do all the other platforms, everything. I love that.
Exactly. And because there's so much more information out there, and that's a good thing that we know so many things nowadays, but we cannot forget the basics. So sometimes we pay attention to something that a little detail, and then that become you have to do that. Like you have to wake up 5 a.m. every day, or you have to take cold showers, or you have to drink this or that.
Exactly.
And bottom line,
yeah,
do the basics, like eat whole food, move, sleep well, drink water, and you are going to be fine.
I love that. I love that. Yes, it is joyful when you can just see that the simplicity of living life is what makes you healthy.
Yeah.
Because the stress of trying, like you say, trying to fit all these programs and fit them into what's already a busy life. Here in the US, totally busy life.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I love the simplicity aspect. So, where would you think, for people listening out here now and loving the idea of, yes, bring me simple. What's the most important first step to keep going in this healthy living lifestyle?
I would love to say that I have a magic portion or that I have like this wonderful tea that you can drink or do this class or this exercise.
One day you will.
But if you should pick one small habit, I would say journal. And let me explain why.
Yes, please. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I know. Because I believe all the answers are inside us. Of course, I'm here to share information, to share my knowledge, to bring accountability, but all the answers are inside each one of us. And we cannot transform ourselves if we don't understand, if we don't know ourselves. So if we start journaling, if you start to ask the right questions to yourself, you can start to transform your life. Example, you can start with 2 questions per night. How was my diet today and how do I feel? Just that. And on a scale from 1 to 5, how you feel. You don't have to write down what you ate, what you did. Just just a number. And you start to build a habit of asking yourself that. And with time, you are going to realize, oh my God, when I skip the processed food, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
When I say no to the donut and I prefer, I don't know, a protein shake, I feel better. I produce more during the day. And you start to see that like, oh, there is something here. And you start to know yourself, how you deal with those things. Because I can be hours here explaining what sugar does. And by the way, I'm against cutting off sugar. We need it. But I could say, oh, eat less sugar or eat more this or that. When you feel it by yourself, you do it. Not because I'm telling you, but because you feel it.
Okay. Oh, I love that. I love the idea of journaling. Maybe that's my 2025 new start, because I love how you're asking more about how we feel. And I think in this society, in this current time, nobody asks how we feel. Or they might ask, but they don't wait for an answer. And we don't often go into that conversation. So at least start with a conversation with yourself. How am I feeling? I love that. Yeah. And I love how if we don't know, how can we change it?
Exactly. If we think about it, the way we live nowadays, we are unhealthier than ever.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's something wrong with so much information. How can we live that way? I like to divide health in 4 pillars: movement, nutrition, recovery, and hydration. So when we tackle movement, we are tackling the other ones as well and otherwise. So it should be a change in all areas. Why I'm saying that? Because if we don't eat well, it's going to be harder to move. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Sometimes we feel like we are not in the mood to do something. Just it could be dehydration. It could be bad nutrition. But talking about movement itself, yes, you are right. We don't need to run every day. We don't need to run a marathon. We don't need to go to the HIIT class. For me, the most important component is consistency. So it's better if you walk 15 minutes every day than going to the gym once in a while for an hour, 2 hours, and working hard on yourself. So what I would say to someone who is trying to move more, start with 15 minutes a day of something that they like. It could be walking. It could be playing with their kids. It could be walking the dog. It could be dancing. It could be a class, a yoga class. And I say that as well because, of course, it would be ideal if you could do 40 minutes, an hour. But to get there, you have to first have the consistency and have the ability to do so. Because another mistake that I see people doing all the time is going from 0 to 100 in a day, and it's not sustainable. So if you go to a HIIT class are brutal. If you don't do anything today, you didn't do anything in 2024, and January 1st you go to a HIIT class, it's going to be your last class of the year.
I love it. Yes.
Right?
We're off the hook. Yes.
But
no, it makes total sense.
If you walk 15 minutes and then you increase to 20, 30, you start to go to the gym, you start to the class, you start the HIIT class, you don't need to do the whole class. You do half of the class. And in a couple of weeks, the HIIT class is going to be not only doable for you, but it's going to be pleasant, which is important because it's not going to be so frustrating.
Oh, I like that. So create an entry point for yourself that's 1, easy to access, 2, sustainable, and give yourself grace that is a good thing. That is a fun place to be in life, and just stay there and you will naturally progress to something a bit more because you stop worrying about what you're doing and you just enjoy it.
Exactly.
Do you see this as like anything else, which again, I think we don't get the proper communication, proper conversation when it comes to healthy lifestyle? I see this in the way you're describing both your own life and this progress in movement. It seems like a lifelong journey that we're entering into movement really relative to where we are in life, and to allow for those changes to occur just like the changes in our life are occurring. Does that sound right? Yeah.
Yes, of course. I totally agree. Maybe we should face everything like that. Like, we are at the exact place we should be at that moment, and we can build from there. And the limit where we are going, we can build it, right? It's good that on your first day you think that one day you want to run a marathon, but you should start with the 15 minutes and then build from that, and don't expect to do that right away.
Okay, but I do have a funny story about a marathon then.
Tell me.
Well, I've always loved to run. I always, in my entire life, loved to run. But I didn't ever see it as I'm running to lose weight or I'm running to stay fit. Running was to heal my psyche all the time. But I never ran like races. I never ran for really long distances, although I love trail running. And I was in San Francisco and there was this big party going on in this theater. And it's like, oh, let's go see what the party's about. And we walk in and it was all this excitement. I turned to someone, what is happening? Who are these people? And they're like, oh, we're trying to get people excited to sign up for a marathon for the AIDS Foundation. And I said, oh, that's great. Where's the marathon? And they said, Florence, Italy. And I said, I want to run a marathon in Florence, Italy. I had never run, I think the longest one is the Dipsy Trail I had run for fun, but I had never run distance. But I wanted to go run in Florence, Italy. So it can happen. It did happen. It was, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was 43. This is crazy. See, it's crazy. Just, I have that same brain that says, yeah, let's do it. And then you look back and you're like, what were you thinking you could do that? It was fun.
You said you was 43.
43, yeah.
I will be 43 in a few days. And I'm planning to run my first marathon this year. At 43.
Look at that. Oh, that's witchy powers here on Encuentras. Wow, congratulations and happy birthday. Felicidades.
Thank
yes. You. Oh my God, feliz cumple for this.
I signed up for here in Toronto in October.
Oh, that will be so beautiful, no?
Yes.
Sounds like a beautiful time of year.
Yes, because I run for a while as well. I always like it. And I always postponed the marathon because I always thought, okay, it's too much. You know, I ran half marathons in the past in my 20s. And it was fun, but I never thought about the marathon. It was like a dream, but not that. And I don't know, last October, they opened the registration for next year. And I thought, a year would be interesting. And I'm documenting my training so I can share the story.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, it'd be fun. I have a year to do that. So, yeah.
Oh, that's true. Oh, exciting. See, so setting long-term goals, if you love it, then you can start setting these long-term goals of maybe I'll try this and maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
So seems like there's a little dance we do that it seems like where you do set goals, and if you're enjoying it, you go after that goal, but still give yourself grace to get off the goal if you're not enjoying it.
That's the thing. I do believe in small steps, but I don't believe in free indulgence, or I don't believe in self-pity, I do believe we always have to seek challenges. It doesn't have to be this huge challenge, but small challenge every day. And that's why, for me, at least, is non-negotiable. I start my day with a workout because I like to challenge myself in the morning. It's a way that not to strengthen my body, but my mind, because there is a byproduct of working out that I always say. We pay too much attention on the physical transformations we get from it, that we forget that it strengthens our minds. If we challenge ourselves with physical activities and other activities as well, we are kind of getting used to the challenge. So for me, it's important to start the day with that. And that's why I always say, okay, we have to have small steps, especially in the beginning, but it has to be, the challenge has to be there.
Okay.
And after the first step, we need to think about the second one and the third one. And we always have to be reaching more. With fun. We have to always be having fun. There's enough things that we have to do in life that are not fun that still need to get done. But this one should always be something, a go-to. In your business, in your training, do you provide this outline for people, or is this something they're going to create on their own? Yes, I do. I have a wellness club, an online club. So inside the club, ongoing, we have classes, yoga classes, we have workshops and other fun stuff. But each new member, they have to pass this phase that I call boot camp. It's 1 month. When we work together, I knew each one of the members because I have to work with each one of them in the beginning. When we think about a plan for them, a workout plan, a nutrition plan, and during this month, each day, we work on changing a small habit. So it's one step, a little step, but it is a step and it adds up. Right. So after this month, the person changed 20 habits in total. And then the club becomes easier for them. You know, the content inside the club, the yoga class becomes easier. The workouts and the other things is more like a space to go and to connect with other people and find more. But this first month is like getting into the work. It sounds like a mindset training. Yes, because it's important. We have to prepare the body. As I said, you start 15 minutes walking until you can get to the marathon. But we also have to train our mindset, our body to do it. Everything is interconnected. For me, I would say it's more difficult to work if it's only one aspect. If you are trying to change your body, for example, you should think about changing your mind as well. And if you are trying to change your mind or something, you should think about changing your body as well, or taking care of your body as well, not only your mind. I do love that. Were you ever part of learning any of the ancient knowledge? Because Brazil, you have the Amazon, you have the rainforest, you have huge indigenous presence. Were you ever exposed to learning that aspect of prevention and using nature in keeping your body healthy? Yes and no. because Brazil, we are this mixture of cultures.
Sure.
So we never know when finishes one culture and starts other. Everything is kind of blended. So we have a lot of knowledge from Africans and a lot of from the indigenous people that we just know as the Brazilian culture, but
Absolutely.
we have to acknowledge that they brought those to us. So growing up, we learn a lot of things about herbs and this and that more in an anecdotal way, especially because the lack of pride, right? My grandmother had a lot of herbs, and every time you have some symptoms, she would go to the garden and get something, but it was always perceived as something minor. We don't
lesser than.
Yeah. Because but the pill that we get from the pharmacy is better, right? And so, yes, we have this, but at the same time, I think we are losing it.
Absolutely.
And we should reclaim that. And then after when I studied yoga is not only about the pose, about the asanas. There are a lot in the yoga philosophy. And there is this part, it's not yoga itself, but it's related Ayurveda that I don't know much about it. I like to read, but I wouldn't go there saying that I know. I should study more.
Yeah, to our own knowledge. Before we lose it. Because this is generationally handed down, generation after generation. Just how we're raised, like you were saying. My mother did the same thing. And if you had a stomach ache, thank God I never did, because she would make barley tea, which if anyone's had barley tea, it's like the whole house reeks of, but that was it. You had to drink barley tea, or you had to, she would do the mustard packs, or she would do the oatmeal packs for hives. And it was total homeopathic based on what she knew growing up as a child out in the valley in Peru, right? And that it did cure you. That's the beauty of it. Without having any synthetics in your body, without having any medicine. But we're going to lose it. And in this new year, 2025, we want to start off as healthy as possible. I'm wondering, in your own health journey, in your own movement, nutrition, mindset journey, did the element of feeling othered, did that come up? Did you realize you had healing to be done there?
Actually, I think the order was a little different. I always thought that not that I was wrong. I had to work on my mind, especially when I came, and then you realize, I have to fit, and I don't. What should I say? And then you start to do the work. And then I realized that was part of taking care of my body as well. And there's another aspect as well. It's not told enough. When we moved to our country, our diet changed.
Oh,
our
huge.
Routine changed. Even the environment, like the temperature in Brazil, there's no cold. And here my body has to adapt to the cold.
Yes.
But the diet, even the water, not saying that one water is better than other, but the minerals, everything that is inside is different. And your body has to adapt. So this is another search in itself. Like, how can I adapt to this new environment? How can I nurture my body now that I don't have the fresh fruits I had? Or even because you are moving, you are an immigrant now, you don't have the same money to spend on food as you had in your home country in the beginning. Because sometimes it can be expensive to eat a lot of protein, for example, or to have organics, or to have this and that. And that's another thing that I always advocate in wellness, because there is this message that you have to eat this and that. And all the superfoods, they are never cheap, right?
Of course not. Not here. Not here in the US.
Yeah.
Everywhere else where they come from, it's just your everyday life.
Exactly.
Wow. I can envision where it'd be really beautiful to see a community of women join up and just go out together in that regard. Because doing it solo, again, it can be really hard again.
Mhm.
But I could see a group, like, let's go walk. And as you're walking, you tend to talk. And just that 1-2 existence, walking and talking with someone you trust, you're in a group, you're being buoyed almost, right? Feels like an energy source. I would imagine that'd be such a great healing experience. And again, something to look forward to because you're socializing and moving all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everything is connected. So when you are walking, your body is releasing certain hormones and certain substances that will make you feel better. It will improve your mood. Therefore, the support you are going to give to the other person will be better. You are going to be like more supportive. You are going to think more positively.
Yeah.
And that helps the group and everybody. It's like, how can I say? It's a domino effect.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. It like swells. It's like, it's like the rings of the water. Once you do one little drop, one little change, and it just ripples out to not only to other people, but picking up different things along the way. Like you're saying, the dopamine, everything in your body that makes you happier just from the movement. Oh, I love the vision.
Yeah. I like to relate movement with mood and energy levels because when we feel depressed, which is totally normal, we all have our ups and downs. So we have to acknowledge that, and we have to acknowledge that it's okay. But at the same time, we shouldn't just shut down and, okay, I'm sad today. I'm going to stay in bed and I'm going to eat this or that just to feel good. And then the cycle starts. So as I always say, what is the opposite of being stuck? It's movement. It's movement, right?
Yes.
So and I always say, when you feel like not moving, it's probably because you should be moving.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like being hungry and not having energy. You shouldn't sleep. You should eat to get energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, go back to that root cause again, not the symptom, the cause.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
So if you move, your body is gonna release certain substances that are going to improve your mood. That improvement in your mood is gonna make you make better choices when you have to think about something to eat. It's gonna help you to, even in your relationships, it's gonna help you to sleep better. So everything starts. So I always say, in doubt, just get up and go for a walk and see what happens, like with no expectations. But probably you are not going to think that it was a waste of time.
Oh, there it is. There's the quote of the year. Movement is never a waste of time.
Never.
Yeah, I love that. Put your phone away. Stop the scrolling. Just get out and get active.
Because when you are walking, you are improving your blood circulation. So you get more oxygen to your brain. So you have more capacity to pay attention, to absorb the message, and not even talking about if you are outside, you are getting fresh air. So the quality of the oxygen you are getting is better. So yeah, that's the explanation of the magic.
Oh, okay. I love this. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like we're creating something here as we speak, not just to changing the tone of 2025, but actually creating another space for us to gather in, Latinas to gather in and to feel that community that we've all been kind of broken from. Like, yes. And getting back to the comunidad where we understand each other and we can come to each other in a commonality and then be in movement, which would be salsa dancing for me. It's like, oh, warm beach, salsa dancing. We need to have that trip. Can you please create that health retreat where we're going to a warm beach to go salsa dancing? Oh, that would be it.
That would be amazing for sure.
Yes.
But I don't want to organize. I just want to go.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just want to go. Okay. So do you get into nutrition in your business? Nutrition, the aspect of cooking your own food. Again, it's intimidating, just like movement and exercise is, because we overcomplicate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you recommend are some of the easy entry points on nutrition and cooking for yourself?
First, if you don't cook at all, is try to expand your comfort zone little by little. Again, step by step, small steps. Think about things that you know you can do. Don't focus on it has to be 100% healthy. Don't focus, I have to use the perfect oil with the perfect grain with this or that. Do what you can, because if you don't cook and you start cooking, it's already better. It's already better.
Okay.
And then you can build from there.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that I always say, people, is stay curious. And instead of trying to cut food, when you are trying to eat better, I'm going on a diet, I'm going to cut something. No, don't cut. Bring more food. Variety is key, and variety is the easiest way to a balanced diet. So a challenge, quote unquote challenge that I always propose people is every time you go to the grocery store, come back with something new. From the produce aisles.
Produce aisles, yes. Oh my goodness.
Not a new cereal. And because sometimes we have this idea that something is bad because we had when we were kids or we never tried at all. For me, for example, I spent a lot of time without eating beets because they are too red. Yeah, beets. They're too red, right?
Okay.
And then when I try it, oh, not so bad. And I can have them. Mm-hmm. And you can be surprised about things that you think they are weird or you never had or just because someone. And sometimes we get that from our parents. Usually we don't like what our parents didn't like because they didn't cook for us.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to start to eat less of other things that is not so good for you. Without thinking, oh my God, I can never eat chocolate anymore. Like, no, I cannot live without chocolate and wine. I always say that.
Okay, so wine and chocolate are your go-tos. Okay, good.
Yes. But of course, I don't eat only chocolate and drink wine every day.
Not. No.
So try to find new things and new seasonings as well, because seasonings bring new flavors, and try to explore. And sometimes you don't like the broccoli the way it was cooked. Try another way. When I was a kid, I'm telling you a lot of things about eat broccoli, try eggplant. But when I was a kid, my parents had a really hard time with me. I didn't eat anything. I would eat only rice and beans.
Oh, gosh.
Like a good Brazilian.
Okay.
So I learned it from when I was adult, actually, when I started to eat better. I invite people to try that, to try new things, try to cook. Maybe if you have a busy schedule, think about a day of the week that you can start cook that day. Only one day a week. It's already a step towards a healthier diet. You don't have to, okay, from now on, I'm going to cook every day. Try one day, see how you like.
We've gone through movement, little step movement, just start walking, 15 minutes. We've gone to nutrition, little step movement, try cooking one meal during the week, homemade. Hydration, little
Drink
step.
water. Plain water. You don't need the fancy water.
I love my Pellegrino. I'm not going to leave it
No, you can
behind.
have it if you
I love
like
my
it.
Pellegrino, yes.
The water you like, but what I'm saying, you just, because nowadays there are so many types of water. It's as hard as buying a car.
Right.
Should I get the alkaline? Should I get electrolytes? What should I get? Just plain water. And have a bottle of water with you. I always say that buy one that you love, so you can have it with you and sip all the time. That's it. There's no other thing that I can say to you about water. Just drink it.
Perfect.
And about recovery.
Yeah. What's our little step?
Well, recovery is as essential as movement, as nutrition, as hydration. And for a long time, we saw it as something minor. And it's not. Because when we are recovering, when we are sleeping, for example, our body is still working. For example, all the hard work we do at the gym, it's when we are sleeping that our body is doing the work to build muscles and such, and to repair tissues and to produce the hormones that we need, everything. So we need to sleep well. And nowadays, it seems hard to sleep well, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing, there are a lot of things involved, but if I would give one little step, I would say have a schedule. Try to go to the bed and wake up every time at the same day. That's the start.
Even if you get disrupted?
Try to come back to your routine as soon as possible.
Okay.
Your body needs routine. Your body needs to follow the circadian rhythm. So your body knows when it should release the hormones. It should send the signals of hunger. And about the time, of course, it's important. So I would say in the proper time, we evolved around the sun. So we should get up early and go to the bed early.
Yes.
Don't
What's your
stress.
natural, right? Don't stress. Your natural time of waking up.
And most importantly, be happy. There is no way to be healthy if we're not happy. Happiness is the baseline of health.
There it is. Yep. Quote. Oh. And how can people reach out to you? Do you have a website? Are you on social media? What's the best way to learn more about what you're teaching people and to contact you?
So they can find me on my website, lucianawellness.com. There they find all my content. I post videos every week with new information. I propose challenges there, and they can find information how they can join my club. They can find me on Instagram, Luciana Wellness, and on YouTube, Luciana Wellness as well. And if you are in Amigahood, I host the Health and Wellness Circle there. So you can find me there as well. Luciana.
Oh.
You can look for me as Luciana Couto there.
Okay. Oh, wait, there's lots of opportunity there and lots of video. That would be fun. Oh, the challenges. I have to take a peek at what the challenges are. We have manifested that this year is going to be amazing. Oh, thank you, Luciana. This has been
for the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. My pleasure. This has been a perfect entry into the new year with so much encouragement backed by science already tested out with you. Look at you, beautiful 43.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. You look so healthy and you bring so much joy to us. So it must work. I have to say, it's
Thank
working.
you.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I hope I can be here again in the future.
Oh, definitely. We will definitely have you again. I could see so many opportunities where this is going to be needed. Luciana Couto, Brazilian personal trainer and health coach, ready to help you lead your best life in small, consistent steps that add to your everyday. Do you feel so chill now, knowing that you don't have another big project to tackle this year? Instead, you can follow the easy steps that Luciana shared, knowing they all add up to a very healthy you this year. Absolutely love her emphasis of community support in this journey, engaging each other in healthy life choices, checking in with each other, staying active, cooking together, resting, and at the end of the day, journaling to check in on how you feel. If feeling exhausted and burned out keeps coming up, then Luciana is the person to reach out to on Instagram, her website, and YouTube channels, all of which are on the show notes, and discover what may be disrupting your health and wellness. So join us next week with another empowering Latina whose energy and passion ignite all parts of her life. Mayri Young will light you up with female empowerment and calls to action, all through the belief that each of us is worthy and deserves the best of life. Mayri is an entrepreneur in graphic design, founder of Mezclao Studio, branding, identity, illustration, and surface design with clients like Nike, Facebook, Instagram, and Sephora. Mayri shares her creative journey, emphasizing the influence of her Panamanian and Chinese heritage, family matriarchs, and the importance of embracing messiness in identity. Even the name of her company, Mezclao Studio, showcases the importance of celebrating your most authentic self. Seeking even more inspiration for living your best life? Mayri will light you up, reminding all of us of our value and worth and how to live it out loud. And during this next week, please pray for Los Angeles and that the fires will finally have a chance to subside, for all the firefighters and first responders that continue to work 24/7 from all the countries bordering us, from every state. We keep you in our hearts. We wish you well-being. Thank you to our listeners for contributing to the families who have lost everything, their sense of safety and security, and even the most basic needs. We are all in this together. Step into your truth. Ciao. We love that you have subscribed to this podcast and continue to champion women who understand the life of all things Latina. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the Encuentras Your Voice podcast so you don't miss a single episode. They will automatically drop into your listening device each week, and we'd really appreciate if you take a moment to add to the reviews that we already have. Tell us what you like, tell us what you're hoping to hear, and we will get there. Share this with your friends and family to help us grow our comunidad, and keep following us on our social media to Encuentras Your Voice. We are so grateful to you for helping us grow this community and would love to learn of all the amazing Latinas who you know are creating the world we thrive in. So reach out to me on social media at Encuentras Your Voice, and let's keep leaning into our authenticity in pride. Help us make Encuentras Your Voice the place where you are 100% represented.